Good afternoon. My name's Matt Wilday. I'm one of the bus drivers. I'm also one of the trainers. So today we're going to do the emergency evacuation drill for wintertime. And the first thing we're going to talk about are the ridership rules, which everybody is well aware of, is on the yellow sticker up here in case you forget them. So I'm going to start 1 through 15. First one is we expect you to observe classroom conduct on the bus. So if you behave like you do in the classroom on the bus, we're all going to be happy. Number 2, be courteous and don't use any profane language on the bus. And that goes for mostly the older kids. Save your potty mouth for your home, because we don't want you cursing and using profane language, so the kindergartners, first graders, etc., hear that. So no profane language on the bus. Number 3, no eating or drinking on the bus for obvious reasons. Number 1 is the choking hazard. So if you're in the back of the bus eating your ham sandwich and you happen to choke on it, I'm probably not going to notice it right away, and I'm probably the only one on the bus that's going to save you from choking. So no eating on the bus. Reason number 2 is your neighbor next to you might have an allergy, a food allergy. Say you're eating your peanut butter sandwich and they have a peanut allergy, and you get some on them or they touch it somehow. We're going to have an emergency, and we don't want that. If you spill your food on the floor, and we park the bus in the garage overnight, and we're going to have unwanted visitors if there's food on the bus. Mice, rats, ants, bees. So no food on the bus, and we won't have unwanted visitors. If you spill your soda on the bus, not only is it sticky, and the bus driver has to clean it up, and we're not your mother, so we shouldn't have to clean up after you, correct? Somebody could have a bee allergy. If there's a sticky substance on the floor, it's going to attract bees, and somebody could be stung by it that has a bee allergy. So no eating or drinking on the bus. Number 4, try to keep the bus clean. If you have any trash, your report card that you don't want to show mom and dad, wait till the bus is stopped before you use the trash can. We don't want you walking back and forth or leaving it on the seat or on the floor. Try to keep your environment clean. Cooperate with the bus driver for obvious reasons. You may not agree with what he or she says, but there's a reason for them telling you what they're telling you. If you have a problem with it, we can talk about it later, but not when they're asking you to do something. No smoking on the bus for obvious reasons. This is a little dated, but no smoking on the bus. Don't damage the bus or any of the equipment on the bus. And if you decide to do that, we have Big Brother on the bus. There's 4 cameras, front, back, 2 in the middle. There's not a square inch on this bus that's not recorded with both video and audio. So back to the profane language. Something is happening in seat 12, and we need to review the video of the incident on seat 12. We're also going to know what happened in seat 22 when you're talking about, something that you shouldn't be talking about on the bus with your potty mouth. So don't do it, because you're going to be recorded. While we're talking about the Big Brother, so you're bored, you decide to poke a hole in the back of the seat with your pen. That's going to cost your parents about $110. So if you do it, we're going to know you did it. So don't do it unless you want to get in trouble at home and at school. Stay in your seat. There's no reason for you to be out of your seat except for when the bus is stopped and you're getting on or off the bus. Stay out of the aisle, because we don't want people tripping over your legs or your backpacks or any of the other stuff that you have in the aisle. Keep it clear. Don't be standing on your seat, kneeling on your seat, talking to your neighbor behind you, because it's not safe. These seats are designed to protect you if you're sitting in it properly, and that's with your butt on the cushion, your back against the backrest, and your feet on the floor. Any other way you're sitting in your seat, you're not protected as well. Keeping head, hands, and feet inside the bus for obvious reasons, because if you have your hand, your head, your feet out the window, if I drive by something or another driver drives by something and we are too close, whatever's hanging out of the window is going to hit that stationary object and you're going to become injured. So keep everything inside the bus. No fighting, pushing, or shoving on the bus. You can do that at home, not on the bus. So that's self-explanatory, right? Everybody got that? Perfect. Do not tamper with the bus equipment. Same reason with do not damage the bus or equipment. We got Big Brother on the bus, so don't mess with it. Don't mess with the emergency window handles because they're gonna make an alarm. If you want to look on seat 2 here, you can see one of those. Don't mess with those. And while I'm on that subject, I guess we'll go over the emergency exits that are on the bus. So there are 4 emergency windows on each bus, and Mr. Rockwell is going to point them out. They swing completely open. There's an alarm, and there's also a red handle, and they're labeled. It says emergency exit. Seat 15 there's one, seat 18 there's one, seat 7 there's one, and there's also one on seat 2. On the rear of the bus there's an emergency exit door which also has an alarm. That door will stay open on its own. There's also emergency exit door at seat 5 up here, which is the same. It's got a red handle on it. It has a red light, and it also has a label that says emergency exit door. There's also 2 roof hatches that are emergency exits, and the only time we would ever use them is if we were unable to use another one, like a window or a door. We're always going to want to use the emergency exit of least existent or easiest route, which is going to be hopefully the front door, if not the back door or the side door, and if that doesn't work, a window or a roof hatch. So you can't bring any pets on the bus for obvious reasons. Number 1 is they may escape, run out the door, and your pet's gone forever. They could bite, become scared, frightened on the bus, and bite your neighbor. And another reason is somebody could be allergic to your pet, and we don't want to have a emergency because somebody's allergic to your pet. So if you need to bring a pet to school, have your mom or dad bring it in the car. Do not bring flammable material on the bus. So if you need to bring your 5-gallon gas can for your dirt bike at the end of the day, you're going to have to bring that in mom and dad's car. You can't have it on the bus. Nothing flammable on the bus. And the bus driver is authorized to assign seats, which is obvious. That's why we have the name tags. This is for COVID mainly this year, but any other year we're authorized to assign seats, and we do. And the most important one is number 15, is to have a safe trip. Any questions? Good. Moving right along. Seat belts. Each seat has 3 seat belts. They're color coded, and the buckles go together with the same color. If you're not going to use the seat belt, don't unhook it. And the reason that being is it's going to hang on the floor, and it could be a tripping hazard if it's hanging out in the aisle. And in the wintertime, when you have that salty white slush on the floor on everybody's boots and shoes as they come in, the seatbelt will hang in that, and say Sally, who wants to wear her seatbelt and has black pants on, has the white salt and nastiness on the seatbelt, will have it on their clothes. So if you're not going to use it, leave the seatbelt hooked so it's not a tripping hazard or becomes wet and nasty with the salt. If you get in the seat, do your bus driver a favor. If the seatbelt's unhooked, hook it up for him. We'll definitely appreciate that. Anybody, Mr. Rockwell, you want to demonstrate the use of the seatbelt, how you properly wear it?
Sure, I can do it. It's just like the ones in your dad and your mom's car. Seatbelt spade goes in and it's latched in. To undo the seatbelt, push down on the red button and it comes apart. When you put the seatbelt on, make sure that it's low on your hips and it does hold you back against the back of the seat. As far as the seats themselves, the seats are very protected. While you're inside of this area, you're very safe. It's when you're out here in this part of the aisle, or this in the aisle, is where you're not safe. So that's why we're always asking you to stay inside of this area and not to be out here in the aisle.
Thank you. Moving right along, our next subject we're going to talk about is boarding at school. When you get dismissed from school, the buses are waiting for you, so we appreciate it if you go directly from the school to the bus and get in your seat and not get distracted on the way. That'll expedite things to get out of the school and get you home in the afternoon, and it's going to keep you safe as well. Emergency equipment. I already went over the exits, the 4 windows, the 2 hatches, and the 3 doors. So some emergency equipment that we have on the bus is a fire extinguisher, which is located up here. The only one that's probably going to use it, if it ever gets used, is me. And the reason being is the bus will be fully engulfed in 2 minutes if there's a fire on the interior of the bus. And I can guarantee you that every bus driver is going to have the whole bus unloaded in less than 2 minutes. So our object is going to be to get you off the bus safely and not putting the fire out. Another emergency equipment item we have are seatbelt cutter, which on this particular bus is located on the dash by the driver. The only time you would have to worry about using that yourself is if the bus driver became incapacitated. So while we're on that subject about the bus driver becoming incapacitated, this is for the older students, the high schoolers. This bus drives just like your mom's or dad's car or truck or your own vehicle. So if the bus driver becomes incapacitated, somebody please come up here and put your foot on the brake and hold on the wheel to try to stop this bus safely. And once that's done, you're going to shut the bus off with the key here, and you're going to pull on this yellow handle right here, which is the emergency brake. That will stop the bus. Once you've done that, this is a 2-way radio. Remove the mic from its holder, depress the orange button on the side here, and call for help. The only ones that are on this frequency are the school. So the high school, the middle school, East Hill, as well as all the other buses will hear if you call for help. You're going to relay the information of where you are and what the emergency is, and somebody will respond to you on the radio and send help.
Mr. Wilde, what can you do if the radio doesn't work?
Most people, probably from 3rd grade up, or maybe a little older, will have a cell phone. Call 911. As simple as that. You don't even have to use a radio, and maybe a cell phone will work better for you because you're very familiar with a cell phone. Call 911 and give them the same information, where you are and what the emergency is. Let's see here. We've done the disabled driver. So I don't have any riders so we're just going to talk about the evacuation. We're using the front door in the winter, this one. So we're going to pretend that there is a emergency in the back of the bus. So we're going to want everybody who's closest to the emergency to get off first. So the students in the back of the bus are going to exit first, starting with seat 22, even though this bus doesn't have 22 seats because it's a handicap bus, but 22, 21, or excuse me, 22, 11, 21, 10, etc. Until everybody's off the bus. And when you get off the bus, I'm going to tell you where to go. We're going to have a designated area. It could be a tree, it could be a building, it could be somebody's driveway, but it's going to be far enough away from the emergency, and I want everybody to gather there and stay there until somebody is there to tell you what to do next, either me or somebody else. Now that it's wintertime and we have colder weather coming, even though it's not cool to wear a winter jacket when you're older and you like to wear your shorts, however, bring a winter jacket with you in case something does happen to the bus and we break down. So when it's 20 degrees out and the bus is nice and toasty warm, we're going down the road and we have an emergency and we have to shut the bus off, our bus is going to be 20 degrees in probably less than 5 minutes. So bring a jacket with you. On the winter note, we're going to have snow. We live in the great northeast, so it's expected. And we'll probably be getting snow banks at some point. And when the bus is pulling up to pick you up or drop you off in the wintertime, may not be able to see you because of snowbanks, so stay away from the street, at least 15 feet. We know where your stop is. We're not going to drive by you. We'll stop and we'll see you, and you can get on the bus safely. You also want to stay away from the approaching bus and traffic in the wintertime, because the streets may be slippery because of ice or snow, and we might not be able to stop as quickly as possible on dry roads. So stay away from the street at least 15 feet in the wintertime. Let's see. Unloading on a regular basis. When you get off the bus and you have to cross, we want you to take 7, for the smaller students, 7 giant steps in front of the bus, staying at the curb, look at the driver, make sure there's eye contact, and the driver will cross you. So this is the signal to cross. This is the signal to stop, and the beep of the horn is the signal to go back where you came from. Once the driver's made eye contact with you, they'll signal you to cross. You'll walk to the front driver's side of the bus, and you will check for traffic yourself, looking back and forth, and then cross the street as quickly as possible to get away from the bus. In the wintertime, when you have your jackets on, your backpacks on, is a time where you could get caught in the handrail with a strap from the backpack. So we're going to make sure you're 15 feet away from the bus before we ever pull away. For you who have parents that want you to check the mailbox when you get off the bus, wait till the bus is gone, because we're not going to leave with you checking your mail next to the bus. So go up your driveway 15 feet, let the bus leave, and if you are one of those that have to check the mail, do it after the bus is gone. I think I'm about done with this. Anything you'd like to add, Mr. Rockwell?
I don't think so. I believe you covered it all. On the procedures for, as he was talking about getting off the bus, the same procedures happen when you're getting on the bus. When we're pulling up to your driveway to pick you up in the morning, and you're on the left-hand side of this bus and need to cross in front of the bus, stay in your driveway until that bus is stopped and the driver gives you the signal to cross. Once he does that, then you need to cross in front of the bus and get on the bus using the handrails and go to your seat, and then he will proceed on his way to the next stop. So make sure that you do stay in your driveways and do not cross in front of this bus until the driver gives you the okay that it's safe to do so. Even when he does give you the okay, make sure you look yourself. But he has lots of mirrors on this bus. He can see what is going on around him, and he'll make sure that you're safe to get on and off the bus.
All right, so this concludes our winter emergency evacuation drill, and I hope that you have a safe school season, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.